What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Capel Outdoor video, and today is finally the day that I can shoot this video. Hey guys, just want to give y'all a heads up now. If y'all don't want to hear me rambling on about some information, then I'll leave a time card or a timestamp in the description of the video. So if you want to see some big Sasquatch shoot guns, then you can skip ahead to that part of the video. I'm going to tell you why every survivalist, hunter, outdoorsman, prepper, whatever you want to call yourself, why you need a single shot break action 12 gauge. So stick around, this should be interesting. This is my Stevens 940A break action single shot shotgun. As you can see here, it's got the little paddle tail, breaks action like that. Most of them have them in back here behind the hammer. I don't really like it behind the hammer because it gets in the way of my hand, but I do like it on the side. It's very different when I've seen this firearm, but it's got a, I would say roughly about a 26-inch barrel. This is a 2 3/4 shell shotgun, so it shoots only 2 3/4 shells. It's got a wood fore-end and a wood stock. And you might be thinking to yourself, dude, why does everybody need that? Well, for two reasons. One, it's fairly cheap. You can find this under around 200 bucks or less, depending on where you get it from. And the second thing is just how versatile this firearm is. And you're thinking, yeah, it's a shotgun, it can shoot from bird shot to slugs. Well, yeah, it can do that. But if you pair it with short lane arms gun adapters, these things right here are insane in my opinion. So this one right here is a 410 adapter. It's a 12 gauge to 410 adapter. It can shoot 410 or 45 Colt. It's just the outside diameter fits inside the shotgun, and then the inside fits a 410. This adapter can fit into a 2 3/4 or 3-inch chambered shotgun, and it can shoot the 2.5 or the 3-inch, I believe, 410 shells. You can get you another adapter. This is the 12 gauge to 20 gauge adapter. This will fit inside of a 2 3/4 or 3-inch chamber, and it can only shoot the 2 3/4 length shotgun shells. So that's another one. So we have two so far. Now, if you also visit their website, these two adapters are the Scavenger series adapters. If you go to the Pathfinder tab on their website, those adapters are designed by Dave Canterbury. If you don't know who Dave Canterbury is, I suggest you go check out his videos. If you used to watch Dual Survival, he was on like the first few seasons. But his adapters are about 8 inches long, and they can shoot like 22 Magnum, 38 Special, 9mm, 45 ACP, 45 Colt, and stuff like that. So they will fit inside the chamber. Even with them being 8 inches long, they'll still fit in the chamber. So we have a few options there to shoot. We got 410, 20 gauge, and if you want to get the other adapters, you can do so yourself. So you'll have multiple calibers in one firearm, and all you have to do is carry the adapter and the ammunition. On the Short Lane website, you can get you a 12 gauge 209 shotgun adapter. So what this is, it's got a O-ring on it, and essentially you put you a 209 shotgun primer in there. So you see how that fits in there? So you put your primer in there, and then now basically it turns my shotgun into a muzzle loading shotgun. So I can put powder down in there and my shot, and now I have a muzzle loader shotgun that you can hunt with. So with this one firearm, you can shoot multiple calibers out of it. Anything from 22 to 45 ACP, 45 Colt, 410, 20 gauge, whatever. And as well as you can muzzle load it. And you can also take these spent shell casings loaded up as black powder shells. And I'll show y'all how to do that when we get to the range. Before we get to the range, I want to show y'all how I got my black powder load up situation going, either when I'm muzzle loading it or taking the shells and turning it into black powder shells. So this right here is my shot bag. This is a pocket from a Carhartt shirt, an old Carhartt shirt, and essentially in here I keep BB size shot. So like the airsoft BBs that you would use in like those little airsoft guns, that is the ammunition for that. Powder flask and a measuring device. These are some tools that I made out of some whitetail antler. This is a nipple pick. I know the word is very funny, nipple pick, but if I were to get a primer stuck in here, I'd just take this and poke it out the other end. So this right here is a 85 grain black powder measure. I made it also out of whitetail antler. As you can see, I put the hole in there and I drilled the hole in here, and this is like a little spout just to easily pour it down the barrel. I'm super excited about this. I love making stuff out of whitetail antler. This right here is a neodymium magnet. I think I said that right, so don't quote me on that. And what I can do is when I need to take the spent primer out, it sticks on there, and I just center the primer up just like that. This is a 6-inch bit adapter by Milwaukee. Now they sponsor me for this tool. No, I'm just kidding. They didn't do that. But what I did was I took the chuck end, or the part you would put in the chuck of your drill or your impact, and I ground that out smooth, so that way I can reach down in here, and because this magnet is magnetizing this whole bottom of the shotgun, it automatically sticks to the primer. And so all I have to do is take something heavy, tap the primer out, and then when I'm ready to put a primer in, I just take the magnets off, I put the primer in the bottom, and this fits directly around the outside of the primer. I just put it down in there and give it a tap, and it seats that primer in there just well. And I will show you all how to do this out in the field as well. I got 2 of these, well, I got 3 of these little tins right here, and as you can see, there's some writing on here. So in this first one, I got my 209 primers in there, and I got a piece of old t-shirt to put on top of it so the primers don't rattle around, but holds my primers in there. And in here I got Beeswax. This is what I use when I do the black powder shells. This is what I use to seal the top of the shells with. So just a little bit of beeswax right here. I can just pull it out, hit it with a lighter, seal up the top of that shell, and go on from there. And then here in this one, it's just extra patches, but this is really used for muzzle loading. And in this Altoid tin can right here, I made a boar snake. So again, an old piece of t-shirt right here and a loop on one end. So all I would do is just take this loop and feed it down. Now when I clean it, I go from the breech to the end of the barrel. You don't want to go the opposite direction, because you're going to just put all that fouling from the black powder into the mechanism here. So I go from the breech to the end. So you take your loop, go down the barrel till it comes out the other end like this, and then with the primer tool, it comes as a handle, so I could put that on the inside and try to get it on camera here, and you just simply pull it through like that. Cleans out the barrel. It's looking nice and shiny in there. And I also got some sheep's wool when I muzzle load the shotgun. But I don't know about y'all, I'm tired of talking. I say let's get packed up here, let's go down to the range, and I want to test these adapters out. I just want to see how they pattern. So we're going to test the 410 and 20 gauge out, and as well we're going to muzzle load the shotgun, and then we're going to create some black powder shotgun shells out in the field on the range. Let's get all this cleaned up, and I'll see y'all at the range. Alright guys, so the first adapter up is the 410. We are shooting some number 6 shot, 3-inch long 410 shells. This is 11/16 ounce shot. The target is roughly 20 to 25-ish yards if I had to guess. Up next we got the 20 gauge adapter, shooting 2 3/4 number 6 shot, 1 ounce. Alright guys, up next we're going to show you how to muzzle load this shotgun. As you can see here, I did a good job of getting it on camera, but you want to put your adapter in there and your primer. Then you want to grab you about 85 grains of black powder. I'm using 2F Pyrodex black powder. So down the barrel it goes. Make sure you got to get it all in there. Then next you put a clump of sheep's wool in there. And then get your homemade ramrod. This is just a wooden dowel. I think it's about 5/8 in diameter. I got it at Hobby Lobby, or you can get it at any hardware store. And then next you want to get about the same measure, so about 85 grains worth of shot, and down the barrel it goes. And then you put another clump of sheep's wool down in there, and then down the barrel it goes. And then now you want to fire it. As you can see here, the amount of fouling that's on the adapter. So I'm just taking my old t-shirt and cleaning that up a little bit. And then you can see here, I got my homemade bore snake, putting it from the breech down in the barrel. Again, you don't want to go the other direction because you don't want to put all that fouling into the mechanisms of the firearm. Might cause you some problems later on. And then just listen to the sound that it's going to make here. Alright guys, up next I'm going to show you how to reload one of these shotgun shells in black powder. You want to get your magnet on the bottom, center it up with a primer, get your priming tool and punch that out. And once you get it punched out, the magnets will hold the spent primer, so you're going to have to push it out of the magnet. Put your new primer in there, start it by hand, get your primer tool on the other end, seat it into the shotgun shell. It's nice and flat just like that. Then you want to get 85 grains of black powder. Again, I'm using 2F Pyrodex black powder. And then down into the shotgun shell it goes. Now I'm using these patches as kind of like the wadding in a shotgun shell. Using my primer tool, getting that seated down flat. Make sure you want to cover the whole black powder. Then again, you want to get the same measurement. It's about 85 grains worth of shot into the shotgun shell. Then you want to put another patch over top of that just to seal it up really nice. And there you want to take your little beeswax, get it melted and seal the top of that shell. Now let's fire this bad boy. Alright guys, so we made it back from the range to the house, and I figured now would be a good time to go over these pattern targets just to see how well they did. First one starting off, we have the 410 here, and as you can see, it grouped pretty much okay. You know, it covered like the whole area. So that little Scavenger Adapter, short line arms adapter, did pretty good. And then here is the 20 gauge here, and you can see most of the pellets kind of hit in this lower half. That probably could have been me, but I think if I would have moved it up, it would have had complete coverage, and you can kind of see how tightly grouped those pellets or shot is. And doing the muzzle loader with the bigger BB pellet shots, you can see here, this is just one shot on these, and it did pretty good coverage. All right guys, here we go. Here's the last one. This is the black powder shells. I shot this target about 3 times. The first time I shot it, I probably had about 10 pellets hit it. So the pattern on it wasn't not that great. So I shot it 2 more times. As you can see, it has a little bit more coverage. So definitely gonna have to work on that. Maybe it's just a mixture of powder and shot, maybe more powder or more shot or more of both. I did equal parts, 85 grains of black powder and then 85 grains of shot. So definitely something I'm gonna fool with and test out. All right guys, I think this is about to wrap it up. If you like this content just as much as I enjoyed making it, don't forget to like and subscribe. If If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel. And until next time, I'll see y'all on the next one.